My child, last night when the world was quiet and most eyes were closed, I was awake. I am always awake. I heard what no one else heard. I saw what no one else could see. In the stillness of the night, when masks fall away and souls speak honestly, a confession rose up from the deepest place of your soulmate's heart. It did not come from their lips loudly. It came as a whisper soaked in tears, trembling with fear, heavy with truth. And that whisper reached the heavens. They said, "I'm pretending with them. Faith that I see the full picture. Faith that I am not late. Faith that love guided by me never arrives broken. Do not compare your journey to others. Do not measure your worth by someone else's confusion. You are not waiting because you are less. You are waiting because what is coming requires depth, honesty, and courage from both sides. The pretending will not last. It cannot, because the soul does not accept half-truths forever, and the heavens do not support lives built on fear. Soon your soulmate will be forced to choose between continuing the act and honoring their truth. That choice will not come from pressure. It will come from exhaustion. Exhaustion of pretending, exhaustion of denying, exhaustion of running. Until then, protect your heart without closing it, hope without obsession, love without losing yourself. I am closer than you think. I am working in ways you cannot yet see. Breathe, my child. The story is unfolding exactly as it must. There comes a moment in every soul's journey when pretending becomes heavier than the truth. That moment is approaching now. What began as a quiet confession has grown into an inner storm. Your soulmate can no longer silence the voice inside them. The part of them that once agreed to survive on half-truths is now demanding wholeness. They are breaking in ways no one else can see. During the day, they still move through life as expected. They fulfill duties. They answer questions. They show up. But inside, something keeps cracking open. Small things make them emotional. Silence makes them restless. Even being surrounded by people does not remove the feeling of being alone. This is not weakness. This is awakening. You must understand this clearly, my child. When a soul wakes up, it first feels pain. Pain for the time wasted. Pain for the truth ignored. Pain for the love mishandled. Your soulmate is grieving not for a person but for themselves. For the version of them that chose safety over honesty. They replay moments in their mind asking, when did I stop listening to my heart? When did pretending feel easier than being real? And every question leads them back to the same answer. You, not just you as a person, but you as a feeling, a mirror, a reminder of who they are when they are not afraid. They are beginning to notice something important. When they think of you, their chest feels tight but alive. When they imagine a future built on pretending, their chest feels quiet but empty. The soul always knows the difference between peace and numbness is no longer enough for them. My child, I am allowing this inner breakdown because breakdown is often the doorway to breakthrough. I am stripping away the excuses they once hid behind. It's too late. People will be hurt. This is just how life is. These excuses no longer satisfy them. They feel hollow, weak, untrue. At night when they are alone, their defenses collapse. They question their choices. They whisper prayers they never thought they would pray. They ask me for clarity, courage, and forgiveness. They are not asking for comfort anymore. They are asking for truth. And that shift changes everything. You may feel sudden waves of emotion during this time. Unexpected tears, deep longing, or even moments of peace that seem to arrive without reason. This is because energetic ties respond when honesty begins to rise. You are connected at the soul level, and when one soul starts to awaken, the other feels the movement. Do not mistake this phase as chaos without purpose. This is necessary unraveling. Lies must fall apart before truth can stand. Masks must crack before faces are revealed. Your soulmate is not being destroyed. They are being rebuilt. They are starting to see how pretending has affected not just them but everyone involved. They feel guilt. They feel shame. They feel regret. But along with these heavy emotions comes something new. Responsibility. Responsibility to stop lying. Responsibility to choose consciously. Responsibility to live in alignment even if it costs them comfort. This realization is terrifying for them. Truth requires action, and action requires courage. But courage is growing in them slowly, quietly, like a flame that cannot be extinguished. Every time they try to ignore it, it burns brighter. My child, I know you have waited with grace. I know you have held your heart carefully. I know you have wondered if you should walk away to protect yourself. I honor your strength. I want you to know that your restraint has allowed this transformation to happen naturally. If you had forced, chased, or demanded, fear would have won. But love guided by patience gives space for truth to emerge. Your soulmate is beginning to feel that space now. They notice your absence more deeply. They realize how your presence once felt safe without being controlling, loving without being demanding. They see now what they took for granted. Not because you reminded them, but because the contrast has become impossible to ignore. I am teaching them the difference between attachment and love. Attachment clings out of fear. Love chooses out of truth. And your connection was never about possession. It was about recognition. Two souls recognizing each other beyond circumstances. There will be moments ahead when your soulmate feels overwhelmed. Moments when they hesitate, moments when fear tries to pull them back into pretending. Do not lose faith during those moments. Transformation is not a straight path. It is a process of shedding layers, one by one. Continue focusing on your own healing, my child. Continue becoming the best version of yourself, not to impress but to align. What is meant to meet you will match the growth you choose. Now I am preparing both of you for a conversation that will change everything. Words will be spoken that can no longer be taken back. Truth will be placed on the table. And once truth stands between two souls, pretending loses all power. For now, trust the silence. Trust the delays. Trust the inner work happening where you cannot see it. I am closer than ever. I am guiding this unfolding with precision and love. Hold your heart steady, my child. What is breaking now is making room for something real. The time of inner struggle is now giving way to a moment of truth. What was once hidden in the quiet corners of your soulmate's heart is rising to the surface, asking to be seen, asking to be acknowledged, asking to be acted upon. This is the stage where pretending begins to feel impossible. The weight of living a life that does not align with the soul becomes unbearable. Your soulmate is standing at a crossroads. They feel it in their body, restlessness in their chest, a tightness in their throat when certain conversations come up, a heaviness in their steps when they return to places that once felt familiar but now feel wrong. Their soul is rejecting what their mind has been trying to maintain. And when the soul rejects something long enough, change becomes inevitable. They are noticing signs everywhere now, not because they are looking for them, but because I am placing them deliberately. A phrase overheard in passing, a moment of silence that feels louder than words. A memory of you arriving suddenly, uninvited but powerful. These are not coincidences. These are reminders of truth knocking again and again. My child, truth has a sound. It is quiet but persistent. It does not shout. It waits, and it always returns. Your soulmate is beginning to see how fragile pretending really is, how one honest conversation could shatter the image they have been maintaining, how one brave decision could disrupt the life they carefully arranged. This realization terrifies them, but it also awakens them because deep down they know a life built on fear will never feel complete. They are asking themselves hard questions now. If I continue like this, will I ever feel fulfilled? Will I recognize myself 5 years from now? Will I regret not choosing honesty when I had the chance? These questions do not leave them alone. They follow them like shadows, demanding answers. You may sense this shift without any physical proof. A sudden calm, a strange certainty, or even moments of emotional distance that confuse you. Do not panic. Distance is not always separation. Sometimes it is preparation. I am creating space so truth can be spoken clearly without emotional chaos clouding the moment. Your soulmate is slowly realizing that pretending has cost them their peace, and peace is the soul's most precious currency. Without it, no relationship feels right, no success feels satisfying, and no future feels secure. They are tired of feeling divided. One version of themselves for the world, another for the mirror. I am pressing gently but firmly on their heart now, not to rush them but to prevent further delay. Delay has served its purpose. Lessons have been learned. Awareness has been awakened. Now comes responsibility. My child, do not underestimate the power of what is happening behind the scenes. Conversations are forming in their mind before they ever reach their lips. They are rehearsing honesty, imagining outcomes, preparing themselves emotionally for reactions they fear. This internal preparation is necessary. Courage is not sudden, it is built. There may be moments when they pull back emotionally, moments when they appear distant or uncertain. This is not regression. This is the final resistance of fear before surrender. Fear always tries one last time to keep control, but it is losing its grip. I want you to hear this clearly. You are not being tested right now. You are being protected. If everything unfolded too quickly, it would damage what is meant to last. I am ensuring that when truth is spoken, it comes from clarity, not confusion, from strength, not desperation. Continue to remain grounded. Do not overthink every sign. Do not chase answers prematurely. What is coming will arrive clearly without you having to force it. Truth does not need to be hunted. It reveals itself naturally when the time is right. Your soulmate is realizing that honesty may cost them comfort, but pretending is costing them themselves. And the soul will always choose itself in the end. This choice may feel painful in the moment, but it will bring long-term peace. And peace is what allows real love to grow. I am aligning circumstances now. Timing is adjusting. Opportunities for honest conversation are being created. Barriers that once prevented openness are weakening. What once felt impossible is becoming unavoidable. You may feel a sense of anticipation as if something important is about to happen. Trust that feeling. It is your spirit recognizing movement. The waiting season is not ending because you demanded it. It is ending because truth is ready to stand. Stay patient just a little longer, my child. Stay faithful just a little deeper. What is unfolding is not about drama or conflict. It is about alignment. And alignment always brings clarity. The mask is slipping. The heart is opening. And the truth is preparing to speak. Hold steady. The next step will change everything. My child, you may not have heard those words with your ears, but your spirit felt the weight of them. That sudden heaviness in your chest, that unexplained sadness, that moment when your heart felt tight for no clear reason, that was not random. That was your soul reacting to a truth spoken in the dark. Souls connected by destiny feel each other even when distance, silence, or other people stand in between. Your soulmate is living a life that looks normal on the outside. They smile when they are supposed to smile. They show up where they are expected to show up. They say the right words, play the right role, and convince everyone around them that they are fine. But inside they are tired. Inside they feel empty. Inside they know they are acting. They are pretending to belong somewhere their soul does not feel at home. I saw them last night, my child. I saw the way their shoulders dropped when no one was watching. I saw them sit quietly staring at nothing, replaying moments they cannot forget. I saw them think of you in ways they try hard to deny during the day. They do not plan to think of you. It just happens. Your name appears in their heart without permission. Your energy interrupts their thoughts. Your presence visits them when they least expect it. They are pretending because they are afraid of hurting others. Afraid of judgment, afraid of making the wrong choice, afraid of change, afraid of admitting that what they chose does not feel right anymore. So they stay quiet. They stay still. They convince themselves that pretending is easier than facing the truth. But my child, pretending is exhausting and their soul is tired. You wonder sometimes why progress feels slow. You wonder why things seem delayed. You ask me in your prayers why love that feels so real must face so many obstacles. I want you to know this clearly. I have not been ignoring you. I have not forgotten you. I have been watching both of you very closely, and nothing about this connection is accidental. Your soulmate's confession did not shock me because I already knew their heart. But it shook the heavens because it was the moment truth was admitted, even if only in secret. When a soul finally tells the truth, even in a whisper, everything begins to shift. Heaven responds to honesty. I respond to honesty. They are pretending with someone who gives them comfort but not connection, stability but not depth, presence but not peace. On the outside it looks like commitment. On the inside it feels like a performance. They keep asking themselves, why do I still feel empty even though I'm doing what I'm supposed to do? That question keeps them awake at night. That question leads them back to you again and again. My child, do not think for a moment that you were replaced. You were not replaced. You were postponed. There is a difference. Some connections cannot be rushed. Some love needs maturity, courage, and healing before it can stand strong. Right now, your soulmate is learning the hard lesson of what happens when the heart is ignored and the soul is silenced. They try to convince themselves that pretending will eventually turn into real feelings. They hope that if they wait long enough, their heart will adjust. But the heart does not lie forever. The soul does not stay quiet forever. And love that is meant by me cannot be erased by convenience. You may feel like you are the only one hurting. You may feel like you are the one waiting, the one questioning, the one praying, but I want you to know this. Your soulmate is hurting too, just in a different way. You feel pain because you are separated from what your heart knows is true. They feel pain because they are living against what their heart knows is true. Last night when they said, "I'm pretending with them," they were not talking to another human. They were talking to me. They were admitting what they have been running from. And that admission has consequences, not punishment but movement. Truth creates motion. Pretending creates delay. And delay has reached its limit. My child, I see your patience. I see the nights you cried quietly. I see the times you tried to convince yourself to move on, to let go, to stop hopping. But every time you tried, something inside you would not allow it. That was not weakness. That was discernment. That was your spirit recognizing a connection that is not finished yet. Do not lower your worth just because someone else is confused. Do not question your value because someone else is afraid. Your soulmate's pretending is not a reflection of your importance. It is a reflection of their inner battle, and that battle is reaching a turning point right now. They are standing between comfort and truth, between what is easy and what is real, between what looks right and what feels right. And this place is uncomfortable. This place is heavy. This place forces honesty. They can no longer ignore the quiet voice inside them that keeps saying your name. I am working behind the scenes, my child. Conversations are being stirred. Situations are shifting. Emotions are rising to the surface. What has been hidden will not remain hidden for long. Pretending cannot survive where truth is demanded. For now, your role is not to chase, force, or confront. Your role is to stay aligned with me. Stay grounded. Stay calm. Stay faithful. Do not let impatience make you act out of fear. What is meant for you does not need desperation to arrive. It needs timing. I know you want answers. I know you want clarity. I know you want honesty. And those things are coming. But they must come in a way that leads to peace, not chaos, healing, not regret, alignment, not damage. Trust me when I tell you this. Last night's confession was the beginning of the end of pretending. The heavens heard it. I responded to it. And nothing will remain the same after truth is spoken. Rest your heart, my child. You are not forgotten. You are not second. You are not invisible. You are deeply known, deeply valued, and divinely protected. What is unfolding now is not meant to hurt you. It is meant to lead you both closer to what is real. Stay with me. This story is only beginning. Come closer and listen carefully because what I am about to reveal will bring calm to the questions that keep circling in your heart. After last night's confession, after that quiet admission that rose from your soulmate's soul, something began to stir deep within them. Truth, once spoken even in secret, does not return to sleep. It stays awake. It watches. It presses gently but firmly against the heart until something changes. Your soulmate woke up today carrying a weight they could not explain to anyone. They went through their routine, spoke their usual words, followed the familiar pattern, but everything felt heavier than before. Pretending became harder. Smiling felt forced. Even silence felt loud. This is what happens when the soul can no longer agree with the life it is living. You must understand this, my child. Pretending is not just lying to others. Pretending is betraying the self. And betrayal of the self always creates inner conflict. That conflict is now growing inside your soulmate. They feel torn between who they are expected to be and who they truly are. Between what looks stable and what feels alive, between obligation and truth. They are not pretending because they are cruel. They are pretending because they are scared. Scared of breaking promises. Scared of being judged. Scared of starting over. Scared of disappointing people who depend on them. Scared of admitting that they made a choice before they were ready to listen to their heart. Fear has been their guide for a long time, and fear always pushes people towards safety instead of destiny. But my child, safety without truth becomes a prison. And your soulmate is beginning to feel the walls closing in. They ask themselves questions they have been avoiding. Why do I feel restless? Why does my heart feel quiet but unhappy? Why do I still think about someone I'm not supposed to think about? These questions do not leave them alone. They follow them into the shower. They sit beside them during meals. They lie next to them in bed. Questions like these are not accidents. They are invitations to honesty. You may wonder why I allowed this pretending to continue for so long, why I did not step in sooner, why I let both of you feel this separation. My child, some lessons cannot be learned through comfort. Some awakenings only happen through discomfort. Your soulmate needed to experience the emptiness of pretending to understand the value of truth. They needed to feel the difference between being chosen and being aligned. What they feel with you is alignment. What they feel where they are now is convenience. Alignment stirs the soul. It challenges, it grows, it heals. Convenience soothes fear but starves the heart. And now the hunger of their heart is louder than the comfort of their situation. Do not think that your patience has gone unnoticed. Every time you chose not to react out of anger, every time you held back words that could have caused damage, every time you placed your pain in my hands instead of someone else's, that mattered. Your maturity has been preparing you for what is coming. Love that lasts requires emotional strength, not just desire. Your soulmate senses this strength in you, even from afar. They feel it in the way you do not beg, in the way you do not force, in the way you remain kind even when confused. That strength both attracts them and scares them because deep down they know that real love demands real courage. They are beginning to see the contrast now. The difference between pretending and being present, between speaking without meaning and speaking from the heart. They notice how shallow conversations feel, how laughter fades quickly, how silence feels empty instead of peaceful. These realizations are not comfortable, but they are necessary. My child, I am slowly removing the distractions that kept them numb. I am allowing moments of silence. I am allowing discomfort. I am allowing emotional honesty to surface. Not to punish them, but to free them. Freedom always begins with truth. This is the moment where truth steps fully into the light. What was once whispered in the dark is now strong enough to be spoken aloud. The pretending has reached its end, not because someone forced it to stop, but because the soul can no longer carry what is false. When honesty finally rises, it does not come as chaos. It comes as clarity. Your soulmate has reached a decision point. They feel it deep inside like a quiet knowing that refuses to leave. The inner noise that once confused them has settled into a single steady voice. That voice is not loud, but it is firm. It says, I cannot live like this anymore. And when a soul reaches that point, there is no turning back. They understand now that pretending did not protect anyone. It only delayed pain and multiplied it. They see how hiding their truth slowly drained their joy, their energy, their sense of self. They realize that choosing comfort over honesty cost them peace, and peace once lost becomes the one thing the soul will do anything to regain. My child, the courage they are finding now did not come suddenly. It was built through sleepless nights, silent tears, and long conversations with me that no one else heard. I was there when they asked me if it was too late. I was there when they feared being judged. I was there when they worried about hurting others. And I answered them gently, reminding them that truth spoken with integrity heals more than lies spoken to keep the peace. They are ready now to stop acting and start living. You may soon notice a shift through words, actions, or an energy that feels unmistakably different. When honesty arrives, it carries a weight that cannot be mistaken. It feels grounding. It feels real. It feels calm even when emotions are strong. This is how you will know that pretending has truly ended. I want you to understand something important. My child, this ending is not about blame. It is about responsibility. Your soulmate is not being punished. They are being aligned. Alignment always requires honesty, and honesty always requires courage. As this truth comes forward, you are being protected. I am shielding your heart from unnecessary pain. I am guiding conversations so they happen with respect, not chaos. I am ensuring that whatever unfolds does so in a way that allows healing, not regret. Trust my hand in this. You have grown during this waiting season. You have learned how to love without losing yourself, how to hope without chasing, how to trust without control. These lessons were not easy, but they were necessary. The version of you that stands here now is stronger, wiser, and more grounded than before. This growth was preparation. Your soulmate can feel this difference in you. They sense your calm. They recognize your emotional maturity, and it makes them feel safe enough to be honest. Real love does not thrive in fear. It thrives in safety, and you have become a place of safety not through words but through who you are. There may be emotions ahead, relief, vulnerability, even moments of fear as old structures fall away. Do not be afraid of these feelings. They are signs of truth moving freely. Let them come. Let them pass. Do not rush the process. Healing unfolds at its own pace. My child, remember this always. Love guided by me does not arrive to confuse you. It brings clarity. It does not shrink you. It strengthens you. It does not ask you to accept half-truths. It invites you into wholeness. If your paths are meant to come together fully, they will do so with honesty as the foundation. Not secrecy, not pretending, not fear. And if adjustments are still needed, I will guide them gently. Either way, you will not be left in uncertainty. Uncertainty was part of the lesson, not the destination. You are stepping into a season where clarity replaces confusion, where truth replaces guessing, where peace replaces restlessness. This does not mean everything will be perfect, but it will be real, and real is what the soul longs for. I am proud of you, my child, proud of your patience, proud of your restraint, proud of your faith during moments when answers felt far away. You trusted me even when the path was unclear. That trust has not been wasted. Now I bless you with peace that settles your heart. I bless you with clarity that quiets your mind. I bless you with love that honors your worth. I bless you with courage to receive truth without fear. And I bless you with alignment that brings lasting joy. Release what no longer serves you. Welcome what is real, and walk forward knowing that I am with you in every step. The pretending is over. The truth has spoken and a new chapter has begun. Rest now, my child. Your heart is safe in my hands. This is the part where I ask you to slow your breathing and rest your heart in my presence. Because what I am about to speak is not just a continuation of the story. It is the deep healing that comes after truth has been revealed. Many people believe the journey ends when honesty comes out. But the real transformation begins after the confession, after the pretending stops, after the masks fall away. Now listen carefully. When your soulmate finally stopped pretending, when they stood face to face with their own truth, something inside them collapsed and something else was born. The collapse was the false self they built to survive. The birth was the real self they buried to feel safe. This moment did not come with fireworks or applause. It came with quiet trembling, deep exhaustion, and an overwhelming sense of relief mixed with fear. They felt naked before me. They realized how long they had been living disconnected from their own soul. They saw clearly how pretending slowly turned into self-betrayal. And in that realization they wept, not just for you, not just for love, but for the years they spent silencing their heart. This kind of grief is sacred. It is the grief that cleanses. It is the grief that prepares the soul for truth-driven love. My child, I want you to understand something important. Truth does not immediately make everything easy. It makes everything real. After the confession, your soulmate did not suddenly feel strong. They felt vulnerable. They did not feel confident. They felt exposed because when you stop pretending, you lose the armor that once protected you from pain. And that vulnerability is where healing either begins or fear tries to return. This is why I have been holding both of you so closely. Your soulmate is now walking through the aftermath of honesty. They are learning how to sit with discomfort without running, how to face consequences without escaping, how to feel emotions they once numbed. This is not punishment. This is purification. A soul cannot enter real love while still hiding from itself. They are asking themselves new questions now. How do I live honestly? How do I rebuild trust with myself and with others? How do I become worthy of the love I was afraid to choose? These questions mark growth. You, my child, are also in a sacred phase. After waiting, hopping, questioning, and trusting, you are now learning a different lesson, receiving without fear. Many people know how to wait. Very few know how to receive love once it arrives without guarding their heart too tightly. I am teaching you how to stay open while staying grounded. You may notice moments when old pain tries to resurface, memories of confusion, moments when you ask yourself, what if this happens again? These thoughts are not signs of weakness. They are echoes of survival. Do not fight them. Acknowledge them and then release them to me. I am not bringing truth into your life to reopen wounds. I am bringing truth to finally close them. Your soulmate is becoming aware of the weight of your patience. They are beginning to understand what it meant for you to love without control, to wait without pressure, to trust without guarantees. This realization humbles them, and humility is the soil where lasting love grows. They no longer want to come to you as someone pretending to be ready. They want to come to you whole or not at all. This is why I am still guiding the pace. Rushing would damage what honesty is trying to build. Timing matters not just for reunion but for stability. My child, I need you to hear this clearly now. You are not responsible for their healing. Love does not mean carrying another person's unfinished work. Love means walking beside someone who is doing the work themselves, and that is what is happening now. As this new chapter unfolds, boundaries will matter, truth will matter, emotional safety will matter. I will not allow you to return to confusion disguised as love. What I am bringing into your life must feel peaceful even when it is deep. There may still be moments of silence, not the painful silence of pretending, but the reflective silence of integration. Let those moments exist. Do not rush to fill them with fear. Silence is where souls adjust to change. You are stepping into a phase where love is no longer fantasy. It is responsibility, where words must match actions, where intentions must be lived, not promised. And I will hold both of you accountable to this level of truth. If at any moment you feel overwhelmed, come back to me. If doubt whispers, bring it to me. If fear rises, place it in my hands. I'm not only guiding your soulmate toward honesty, I am guiding you toward peace. Peace that does not depend on someone else's choices. Peace that remains even while love grows. Peace that tells you, I am safe no matter what. And let me say this with absolute clarity. My child, you will never again be asked to accept pretending. Not from them, not from anyone. Whatever continues from here will be rooted in truth, or it will not continue at all. That is my protection over your heart. Now lift your eyes forward. What lies ahead is not a repeat of the past. It is a corrected path, a wiser love, a slower, deeper connection, a union that understands the cost of dishonesty and chooses truth every day. I am proud of you. I am proud of the way you waited without losing yourself. I am proud of the way you trusted me even when clarity felt far away. This journey did not break you. It refined you. Rest now in this knowing you are aligned, you are protected, you are deeply loved, and whatever comes next will come with peace, not confusion, with honesty, not pretending, with courage, not fear. Stay close to me, my child. The future is opening gently, and you are ready to walk into it. This is the closing chapter, not because love ends here, but because uncertainty does. This is the part where I gather every tear you cried in silence, every prayer you whispered when you felt tired, every moment you trusted me even when you did not understand me, and I turn them into peace. Listen slowly. Let every word settle in your heart. There was a time when you questioned yourself. You asked if you imagined everything. You wondered if your heart was too soft, if your faith was too deep. If your hope was foolish. You replayed conversations, you reread signs, you tried to make sense of silence, and sometimes you blamed yourself for loving honestly in a world that taught people how to pretend. But my child, you were never wrong for loving deeply. You were never wrong for trusting your heart. You were never weak for waiting with grace. What you were doing without even realizing it was aligning with me. I watched you grow through confusion. I watched you mature through disappointment. I watched you choose dignity over desperation, faith over fear, silence over chaos. Every time you could have reacted but chose restraint, something powerful happened in the unseen. Your soul strengthened, your discernment sharpened, your spirit became steady. That is why you are standing here now, ready for peace. Your soulmate's journey has reached a sacred threshold. They are no longer running from truth. They are no longer negotiating with fear. They understand now that love cannot exist where honesty is absent. They understand that pretending costs too much. They understand that the soul never forgets what it recognizes. But this final part is not only about them. It is about you. You are stepping into a season where you no longer need to guess, no longer need to wait anxiously, no longer need to overthink silence or read between lines. I'm removing the habit of emotional survival from you. You no longer need to stay alert for disappointment. You no longer need to prepare yourself for loss. You are safe now. I am teaching you how to receive without bracing yourself, how to trust without shrinking, how to love without abandoning yourself. These are advanced lessons, my child. Lessons only learned by those who have walked through uncertainty without losing their integrity. I know part of you still remembers the pain. That is natural. Memory does not disappear overnight. But pain no longer has authority over you. It is no longer steering your choices. It is no longer shaping your expectations. You are not the same person who once waited in fear. You are wiser now, and wisdom brings calm. As this chapter closes, I want you to release something important. Release the need for a dramatic ending. Healing is not loud. Closure does not always arrive with grand speeches or perfect apologies. Sometimes closure is quiet clarity. Sometimes it is a gentle knowing that says, I understand now. You do not need validation from the past. You do not need explanations to move forward. You do not need promises to feel secure. You have me. Whether your soulmate walks beside you immediately or continues their own healing a little longer, your peace does not depend on timing anymore. That is the miracle. That is the victory. That is the transformation you prayed for without knowing how it would come. I am blessing you with emotional independence, not isolation but strength, the strength to choose love freely not out of need, the strength to stay open without losing boundaries, the strength to walk away from anything that asks you to abandon yourself. From this moment forward, confusion will feel foreign to you. Half-truths will feel uncomfortable. Emotional games will feel exhausting. This is not because you became cold, but because you became aligned. You now recognize the difference between attraction and assignment, between connection and convenience, between destiny and distraction. And my child, destiny always comes with peace. I want you to stop replaying the past version of yourself. Do not judge that version harshly. They were doing the best they could with the understanding they had at the time. Thank them, honor them, and then let them rest. The future version of you does not need to beg for clarity. They live in it. The future version of you does not wonder where they stand. They know. The future version of you does not chase love. Love meets them naturally. I am closing the door to emotional confusion. Now I am sealing it with wisdom, and I am opening a new door, one marked by honesty, stability, and mutual respect. As you walk through this new door, remember this truth forever. You are not here to save anyone. You are here to share life with someone who chooses you freely. Love is not sacrifice of self. Love is alignment of souls. I bless your heart with rest. I bless your mind with stillness. I bless your spirit with confidence. I bless your future with relationships that feel safe, honest, and mutual. No more pretending. No more guessing. No more waiting in pain. Only truth, only growth, only peace. Lift your head, my child. You have crossed the hardest part. What comes next will not break you, it will meet you. And wherever this journey leads, remember this. I was with you in the confusion. I was with you in the waiting. And I am with you now in the calm. Rest in me. Your season of clarity has begun. And now, my child, as we come to the very end of this sacred message, I want you to sit quietly with yourself for just one final moment. Not to analyze, not to overthink, but simply to breathe and let everything you have heard settle deep into your heart. You have learned that the confusion you felt was not your fault. You have learned that the pretending was not about your worth. You have learned that your soulmate's silence was not indifference, but fear. You have learned that truth, though delayed, always arrives. And now, standing on the other side of this revelation, you are not meant to be afraid. You are meant to be free. The pretending is over. The masks have fallen, the truth has spoken. And what was hidden in the dark has been brought into the light, not to hurt you but to heal you, not to break you but to build you, not to leave you lost but to guide you home. So go forward, my child, not in fear but in faith, not in doubt but in certainty, not in hiding but in full, radiant confidence. You are protected, you are favored, you are chosen, and I am with you always. The waiting has served its purpose. The lessons have been learned, the healing has begun, and the best part of your story is still ahead. Go in peace, my child. Your breakthrough has already begun. You are never alone, and the love that has been tested is now stronger than ever.